Well, I guess it was time to get another computer for various reasons. Okay, this is the Intel chip. I think it's 2017. Works, we still use it. However, this is the second time that the battery swelled, pushing open the back case and pushing on the pad. It still works, but we have to kind of use an external pad because it's a little bit on the hard side. Oops, I just hit my... So, this unit is going to retire. It's going to be used strictly for when I have to do updates on ham radios, other devices that only have the option of updating via Windows. And it has Windows 10 in there. Okay, let me show you one that's even older. It's a 16-inch. I think the first time they came out with a 16-inch. And for many years it was great. And the logic board decided to act up. At that time it was $500 to replace, but the trading value was less at the time. So I decided, okay, we'll just put it away and use it for parts. I'm hoping the hard drive, not the hard drive, but the battery pack will fit into this other one. But before I do that, I'm going to verify through specs to see if it's possible or will be involved. So this one, like I said, will be put away with this. Eventually, it will have. There we go. Yes, where'd it go? Now, who gets this one? Guess who? Me. I have the M1. I think it's 1922 or something like that. I have to look it up. My better married young lady is going to inherit that. And she's going to lose the Intel chip, which will be used strictly for updating when Windows is required. It came in a very compact package, nice little seal. I haven't opened it. I'm going to do that right now. There we go. That's how it looks. Let me turn this down a bit more. Okay, there. Oops. It comes out. What do we have here? We have a cable. Power supply. I guess that's it. Okay. Now, paper out. Put this back out of the way. This is the 16-inch M4 Pro chip. It's the second lowest end, the one that defaults with a half a terabyte. The only option I put in was 1 terabyte. I managed with the M1, so I'm sure the M4 will work just fine. Okay, I have a tendency of doing it backwards, do I? Ooh, look at that, it just powered up the minute I opened it. Hey, come on. Just putting some of this stuff back in the box. So, here we go, done. Okay, what I'm going to do first, so I'll stop the video. I'm going to do the transfer and the updates and things of the sort. And once that's up and running, I'll let you know if it was worth it. Okay, I finished transferring everything over. The migration, I had a couple of issues. For some reason, some of the stuff and settings didn't copy over. But it could have been something I didn't do right. But anyways, the main thing. Okay. This is the MacBook Pro. I got the 1 terabyte version. It's the second option in the screen where you go to buy. I started off with the 512 because it gave me 24 memory with it. I think a couple other little things. And I decided an extra data, $300 for the 1 terabyte. Technically, I could use a 2 terabyte, I find, but I'm using external drives. And let me turn the volume down on the radio. What's the first few things that I noticed after correcting some of the immigration issue? I noticed the screen quality. What I mean by screen quality, when I set up the screensaver, for example, and selected my scenery folders, which are raw full files of the D800 that I had camera, 48 megapixels, stuff like that. On my M1, I would get a slight out of focus for a split second, even on a desktop, but more so on a screen. And then, of course, it was sharpened up. That wasn't there, and I also noticed that the quality of the picture, the details, was a little bit more detailed, crisp. Objects were more sharper. I'm looking at small little things like stones on the ground, whatever. So, yeah, definitely the black version of the MacBook Pro, the 16-inch, even when talking to Apple, they did mention that the quality of the screen is better than over the MacBook Air M4. Plus, this unit can be pushed harder than the MacBook Air because on top of the efficiencies they have two vents or fans that would kick in if you're really pushing it hard, and as a result you won't have that throttling effect. So that kind of convinced me to go for the 16. I think the 14-inch only has one fan, and then the Air only has none. So you can compensate a little bit by grabbing more memory or something like that, but in the end, I decided on this, and I'm so far glad I did, because I was looking at the 14 and the Air, and it didn't take long for me to say, no, I don't want that. Here, I'll just scroll through. Okay, so I haven't really set up my desktop pictures, but basically that's it. I have about 9 spaces I've created. The other thing that I noticed when copying things over, especially when syncing a few things, was the speed. It definitely didn't take as long to do to migrate stuff. I was reading figures like 400 or 500 megabits per second, and the drive that I was copying from was only about like 2,000 megabits per second. So yeah, it did pretty good. Okay, let's check the drive speed. If I recall right, I was around at 300 megabits, but this one is There you go. This is a simple test. And let me try one more benchmark. This will go through a whole combination of different ones. And again, I think depending where it's at, hit 6, 7, 8,000 at times. So the drive is definitely faster, so that helps. Better screen. I'm assuming the drive speed was basically the same for the 14-inch and the 16. I don't know about the MacBook Air, but I suspect it is. I do a lot of photos, only lately because of YouTube. I'm starting to improve on my videos on YouTube. Again, I'm using an old iPhone, so may have to look at getting a newer iPhone to get the higher res there, especially when I start doing the hiking and scenery and stuff like that. I have to take some videos of it. Okay, I just opened the Apple photo album, some raw films. In fact, the screen is not big enough to show the full. And this is the Yukon, what was it called? Territorial National Park. We were there in September in the fall. Very interesting. Yeah. That's the park for camping. And that's what you see around the camp. Gravel road. Other campers walking. I just shoot away. I set my settings. I don't use auto. I take a lot of shots, experiment a little bit. Yeah, I couldn't do this quick on my M1. It would hesitate a little bit, blurred and then sharpens up. I had to resize and redo resolution. Just wondering if I could, what happens if I zoom in on these people. Whoops. Hold on, let me try this again. Okay. Let's try something here. They were quite a distance away, by the way. Yeah. We're pixelated there a little bit. Okay. As you can see, it just shifts pretty quick. It's worth a trip up there, but the best time to go there would be in the fall. This was about first week in September, just after the long weekend. Okay. The Dempster Highway, away to the wild. Tombstone Territorial Park. I couldn't remember the name. It's Tombstone. There you go. I'll leave it with this picture.